Okay, guys, welcome back. Today is February 11th, 2009, 10:33 p.m. We got a 30-minute. We're about 30 minutes late starting tonight. Sorry about that. I had some information on another case that I was working on. Some really good stuff. I can't bring it up right now, but I will. Um, Today I have on the phone Deborah and Butterfly, who goes by Kinsley. Actually, her name is Kinsley. Kinsley, are you there? Okay, hi, and hi, Deborah, as usual. Okay, we have three cases tonight. We were going. Well, actually, we have four cases. We were going to do just three, but we had an Amber Alert yesterday for a young girl named Haleigh Ann Marie Cummings. Deborah sent me the case yesterday. I did the dream drawings on it last night. I just recently put up the information on the website for everybody to look at. I don't know too much about the case. For before me not, I didn't want to know about it last night. But today I will know. I will learn something about it from Deborah. But the case was opened today to 1109 Haleigh Ann Marie Cummings. She also went missing from Florida. Strangely enough, very close spelling to the name, or very close to sounding name to Kaylee Marie Anthony. Um, so Deborah's here, and she's going to give us the stats on that case.
Okay, her name is Haleigh Ann Marie Cummings. She's been missing since yesterday. In the wee hours of the morning, she went missing from her home. Her date of birth is August 17th, 2003. She's 3 feet tall. She has brown eyes. She's Caucasian, female, age 5, 39 pounds, blonde hair, and she's missing from Satsuma, Florida. She may still be in the local area is what they think. She was last seen wearing a pink shirt and underwear. She has pierced ears. She went missing while she was sleeping, apparently, from her father's home. He was at work at the time, from what news reports say, and his girlfriend was taking care of Haleigh and her 2-year-old brother. There have been some inconsistencies that have come out in this case now, and quite a few things have happened. Kinsley knows a whole lot more about what's going on with this case than I do. She's read everything, and she posted a ton of it in the forum.
Okay, yeah. Let me bring that up real quick. These guys were actually discussing this case all night long, I believe. Um, the forum has been open for this case, and you can access that just by going to findthemissing.net. And the cases are in alphabetical order. The people that are currently missing are up top. The people that are found on the bottom, it's in alphabetical order. If you just click there, or you can click from the right now, you can click on the chat room screen at the top right, and you can also click right from the case file at the top where it says link to forum case. Guys, we really need you to get in there and post this information. Sending it to me, I will post whatever I get via email, but the best and fastest way is always to go to the forums and post there, because we link to the forums, we read the forums, and that's really the best way to get it done. Okay? So, what did you guys talk about?
Well, maybe Kinsley can give us
That's
an
right.
overview for
Yeah.
this case. She's
Yeah.
much more well-read than I am on it.
Okay, Kinsley.
Apparently she was left in the care of the as well, and they were also they were the girlfriend got up to go to use the restroom.
Okay, so Leonard Padilla from the Haleigh search is putting up a reward for her.
Yes.
Yep.
$25,000, no questions asked.
Okay.
Thanks, LP.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. I mean, okay. Whatever happened. I mean, we you know, there's. Nah, I'm not even bringing it up. But I mean, Aji is still missing, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
There's many still missing, but yes, he's missing as well.
Okay. Deborah, do you have anything else on the case? Go ahead.
They're complaining they've lost sound, Erwin.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
They've lost sound, or okay. I don't know why it's showing up. It's showing up in here that there's sound, so there's nothing I can do to fix it. Do you guys have anything else on that?
Okay, they're all complaining.
I'm actually reading some stuff right now on the internet about it.
Yeah, I posted several links on the forum. Any more links they'd like to post?
Okay.
Can always
Yeah, and again, that's findthemissing.net, and I know everybody's probably not watching it right now, but you know, on through our chat, but you probably you can see this on YouTube and wherever else. But findthemissing.net is the forums, and the links to this case file and every other case file are also in the forums too. Okay, so what I did last night is Amber Alerts we do right away. There's generally no exception. This case is no different than the other one. It's an Amber Alert. That's why we're doing it right now. What I had got from last night, it says, the first dream drawing says, the number 29, mother was going to take her from school. She called but hung up, mom's boyfriend. And I'm not exactly sure what that thing on the bottom left-hand side is. It looks like some type of block or something like that. But the number 29 is significant because I think it comes up again. The second dream drawing says, grandfather, Jacksonville, Florida trailer. Check call to school, number 29. And 29 is circled. The third dream drawing says $175,000, no. Always wears red. This is a drawing of a female. I wrote that I think Haleigh may have been taken by a close friend of her mother's. I also think that it's important that police search records of all calls to Haleigh's school. And I just read she does go to kindergarten. I think that's okay. A trailer in Jacksonville, Florida could be where she's at right now. Map is below. I'll try my best to provide more specific information tomorrow if Haleigh's not located by then. We'll also include this in the Amber Alerts for tonight's broadcast, is what I'm doing right now. Okay, so what I did is that there is a Jacksonville, Florida, of course. I posted a map up there. I realized it's completely worthless. I will try to get something else on that tomorrow. But from what I'm guessing, I think that that this is some type of family abduction. That maybe that the child's mother might have got somebody to take her away for some reason or another.
That's interesting that you say that, Brian, because her biological mother, if I remember correctly from the initial news reports, lives in Georgia, and she was en route to Florida when this happened.
Okay.
Because of this happening, apparently. And now I just found out. Kinsley, you want to share what you found?
There's that I found a news article showing a picture of the mother, and the mother is
hang on. Let me just finish what I got right here. A lot of times news reports aren't correct. What I'm thinking it may have happened is this person. Hang on one second. I'm just reading this here. I think that the mother or a friend of the mother's was going to take her away, and I think that maybe possibly that the child's father knew about it. Why I say it's important to check the phone calls to the school, because I think that the mother had called the school, maybe saying that she was going to pick her up early or something like that, and I think that's significant because you might want to trace that call back. And I think maybe it's an abduction gone bad, or something that may look like a kidnapping or something like that. But I think that there's family involvement. What I think is important, though, if the child could be in Jacksonville, Florida, in this trailer, so I was trying to get more information. But it's talking about grandfather too. So if maybe the child is with her grandparents at this time. I don't know. I'm sure that they've been checked out, so it doesn't make any sense. But one good thing about this, guys, is I did not feel the feeling of death, and I hope I'm right on that one. I did not feel it, and hopefully this will not turn into anything else that I never want to see again. So let's really hope that we can find her, and I think that the police are probably doing everything they can, and probably no more than we do, and hopefully by tomorrow. It seems like, I said today that if she wasn't located, I'll do another one. So I will do another one tonight, I promise, but hopefully you won't need it. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Now go on about the information.
Well, one more thing that I'd like to bring up is that the grandfather, there has been a grandfather that was quoted in the news of what he had to say, and he was not very nice about the father's girlfriend. He said she was suspicious, but that he didn't know her that well. So there has been a grandparent involved, and he is said to be cooperating with authorities also. Okay.
Not to say it's not a kidnapping, you shouldn't be out searching, but I don't think too many, how old is she? 4?
5.
5? I don't think they just walk away. And if they do walk away, somebody finds them. The chances of an abductor just walking down the street and seeing a child is very slim. And I think that the best thing I can go with right now is no feelings of death, and that's really good. But go on if there was anything else.
Well, apparently a reference in your drawing regarding the mother possibly is in a photo in a news article, right, Kinsley?
Yes, she's wearing a red shirt, and she does have that longer hair. She has it pulled back in a ponytail.
Okay. Now this is the mother, because I'm looking at this. I don't know if that's the mother.
I'm saying the mother is wearing red.
Okay, but that.
This looks similar.
Okay. Okay.
Does she always wear red? I have no idea. I'm just saying it is coincidental at least.
Okay. But I think the most important thing that anybody that can do anything about this can take from what I have, it would be definitely trace any phone calls to that school. A day before, or a week before, I don't care. Trace, and just to see if somebody called and hung up or whatever. I'm not exactly sure why, but I think that might help. And I definitely would not rule out anything. And hopefully she's located safe. Is there anything else on this case?
Right now they don't have any suspects, but they're not ruling anyone out. They said everyone's a suspect.
Okay. Deborah, do you have anything else? I know you guys talked a while about it last night. I know I was really curious that you guys were talking about. It's like, I really wanted to know, but I didn't look at it. So what were you saying?
Well, the thing that we kept talking about so much is, as more information was coming out, there are so many inconsistencies versus what was said on a 911 call.
Okay, now I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, well, Kinsley brought up about the door. There's just so many things that are either odd, that came out early on, that just seem very, very strange.
What 911 call, though? What's up with that? You said there's inconsistencies, like what?
Well, statements made regarding the door and the condition of the door, and if someone had been able to break in, if there was evidence of a break-in, that type of thing, and and versus what law enforcement found when they got there. They did not find any evidence of a break-in, and all they found was that the screen had been propped open with a cinder block. But
the screen has been propped open with cinder block. I mean, what does that mean?
That's all they found. They did not find evidence of a break-in.
Okay, why would the screen be?
It's a screen door.
Yeah,
and they don't know why it was not supposed to be propped open.
But
that's not. There's also been controversy. Also, if the door is locked or unlocked, and saying it was locked or it wasn't unlocked, and then, you know, what they actually find. And, you know, statements have changed a little bit on some of those things, which I just don't think that they should.
Okay.
And I know it does happen that a child can be taken from a room where others are sleeping, but it's just really hard to believe. Nobody hears that.
Right.
You know, yes, it can happen. It has happened before, but it's just not the normal.
No, I mean, you've got to know something about her or what you're planning to do. You just don't randomly pick a house and say, oh, there's some people in here sleeping all together. Let's take this one. That doesn't make any sense.
The father went on video today saying that she wouldn't go quietly, that she would put up a fight.
Haleigh.
If she was, yeah, if she was sleeping in a room and someone came and got her that she didn't know, you would think that someone would have woken up.
Well, not if her mother came in there. There's one thing that it's $175,000. No, always wears red. I think that might be something about a ransom notice that might be coming out here soon. If there is a ransom notice for $175,000, it's fake. That's all I know on that one. But always wears red. I don't know. I'm not saying I don't know if that's her, because I think it's just something about a girlfriend.
It says a mother's boyfriend on your tree.
So that's what I was trying to get at. It says mother's boyfriend, meant possibly maybe that the mother got the boyfriend to involve somehow, and maybe taking her, if that's possible or not. I don't know, but all I know is that that's coming from this right now that I think would be of any use is definitely Jacksonville, Florida, the trailer, and definitely tracing any calls to that school. Especially if somebody said, hey, well, somebody did call and hang up. Or asked for see if Haleigh was there for some reason or whatever. And generally, anybody that calls the school would be the parents. So maybe the school does have something to do, and maybe they can help out. So let's hope that she's found soon, and this whatever I do tonight won't be needed. You know, I'll try to get that up as soon as I get up tomorrow. I'll get it out there. Anything else, guys, on this one?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Now back to our regular scheduled program. We have 3 cases tonight, and they are Brian Shaffer, Jill Cutshall, and Jacob Willington. Am I pronouncing that right? Wetherington. And we'll go in order from that's case 175, 178, and case 188. Brian Shaffer. The request was issued on October 26th of 2006 from Leslie, and I opened it 2 days later on the 28th. Now I know a lot about this case. This is actually a case I worked with Gail St. John and Travis Sanders on with apparently a TV pilot. I know a lot about the case, but Deborah, can you give us the stats on this?
Yes, this is for Brian Randall Shaffer. He's been missing since April 1st, 2006 from Columbus, Ohio. His date of birth is February 25th, 1979. He was 27 when he went missing. He would be 29 years old now. His height is 6 feet 2 inches tall, 165 pounds. Caucasian male, light brown hair, hazel eyes. He has a tattoo of the Pearl Jam symbol on his upper right arm. We do have a photo of that if you'd like to add it to the case.
Yeah, please.
And he wears wire-framed glasses. And he also has a black spot on his left iris of his eye, which is something that's unique. He was last seen wearing an olive green short-sleeved polo shirt over a white long-sleeved shirt, blue jeans, white Adidas sneakers, and a yellow rubber cancer awareness bracelet. The last place he was seen, which a lot of people are familiar with this, is the Ugly Tuna Saloona. It's a bar at the Ohio State University campus. And the last time he was seen was between 1:30 and 2 a.m. on April 1st, 2006. He was there celebrating the beginning of spring break with several of his friends, and he hadn't been heard from again. His car was left parked at his apartment, which is not too far from the Ugly Tuna Saloona, and none of his personal belongings disappeared with him. His credit cards and bank accounts have not been used. He was a second-year medical student at Ohio State University at the time he disappeared, and he made really good grades there. He had a girlfriend at the time, a serious girlfriend who was also a medical student, and they were planning a vacation to Miami for spring break, and they were scheduled to fly there 2 days later. And he apparently had planned to marry this girl. Right the month before he went missing, Brian's mom passed away from a battle with cancer, so he was grieving her death, but his family and friends stated that he was not abnormally depressed or suicidal, anything of the kind. He was handling that pretty well. I do know that his father was, very good man from what I've, been able to learn about him. In May 2006, the month after he went missing, someone broke into Brian Shaffer's apartment, and at this point, they don't know if the burglary had anything to do with his disappearance. And it does state here that Randy Shaffer, Brian's father, looked in the Olentangy River for his son's remains. He was not able to locate anything there. I know he looked in many other places too. And sadly, Randy Shaffer has passed, and I know you know a whole lot more about that. They don't believe that Brian Shaffer left of his own free will, but they don't know exactly what did happen. He did graduate from Pickerington High School in 1987, and he got a bachelor's degree in microbiology from OSU in 2003. There is some things regarding the surveillance of when he was last seen at the Ugly Tuna Saloona, which I'm sure you know more about that also. Mm-hmm. Correct?
Yeah, I know a lot about this case.
Yeah, so that's the stats for the case. I'm going to give you, I'll put a photo of the tattoo there, and since you know so much more about it from being there, you can take it from here.
Okay, well let's do what we normally do. The dream drawings were done on October 28th, 2006. It says a 22-year-old woman with black hair somehow involved in this case. Initials might be RG. Second dream drawing says that basically says not sure what this is. Several flags and number 29 in the fishbowl. Coors Light 29 fishbowl. You'll see some things up there. It turned out I know exactly what that is. I'll talk about that in a second. The third dream drawing says antidepressants 7X normal 33106 in Columbus. Very sad. Not 100% sure on that one, but I think I know. The next dream drawing says look in the water for the answer. Not far, no note. Okay, it turns out that the first dream drawing is actually, or the second dream drawing I'm talking about, is actually the bar there. If you look down, there is a picture of the bar. Sort of in the middle, I think. I'm trying to find it. Either way, I know it's there. That's the Ugly Tuna Saloona, which is that bar. Without a doubt, I know for a fact that's the bar. I've been there. We've talked to people there. When I was there, I was with a psychic from the UK, Christine Hamlet. She had some theories about what had happened, and a lot of things, what Gail said, and a lot of things all seemed to make a lot of sense. He left that bar, the Ugly Tuna there. I'm not exactly sure what time he came. He went out and then he came back. I think that Travis Sanders had pointed something out on the Psychic Kids TV show that he did, that he felt that he came back, and sure enough he did. The videos show him leaving and coming back to the Ugly Tuna Saloona. But something happened to him after that. The last video shows him coming back, but there's not a video showing him leaving. We did our own little investigative work and found out that you can go underneath that camera, go down the back stairs. There's a stairway that goes right back down. It's like a fire escape. It goes out to the back door. At the time, there were some I guess like awnings. This is like a downtown. These are buildings down there. There was some type of awning. You could walk under that awning and not be seen by the cameras. In order to verify that, myself and I believe um, I think her name was Debbie. We located the security manager for the entire building complex, and he showed us where all the cameras were. He was aware of the case. He did confirm with us that there is a possibility that he could have got out the back way. He didn't do it on his own. I believe that he was drugged and he was murdered. And not only that, the person that did it knows he did it. The police knows he did it, and the time he fesses up on it, because there's nowhere to hide. You know, I think he knows that by now, and I think that y'all will see pretty soon that this case will come to an end. Sadly, Randy did pass away. Randy Shaffer, Brian's father. This man was the nicest man you'd ever want to meet, and it was some type of there was a storm that came by, and somehow a tree branch apparently fell down and hit him on the head, and killed him. That's what the reports say. Honestly, I still can't believe that. It just doesn't make it. Just, you know, maybe I don't want to believe it. From what I've done on this, and I still don't believe it. Because I mean, he think he was the only person in the entire area, I mean, statewide area, that was injured or killed in this storm. And I don't know. I just, you know, Randy, everything that Randy had was taken away, and it was very sad. But going down here, I think I did some more work on this. Yeah, there's pictures of Meredith and Clint. There's another Brian Shaffer, Columbus, Ohio. Met a woman at Fish Bar, Greenfield, next to Waterfall Baseball, Ashley. There's some more dreams drawings. This is some of the areas that we had searched. Gail, I, Travis, Christine. We were actually searched some of these areas that women were out there, because we all felt, I think, that she was possibly somewhere in the water around here. These are just maps of the areas that we searched. We went by West Mount Street. I think everybody hit on that. We had some dogs with us. I really think that we were really close. And I know that Gail's vowed to. She will continue this case until he's located. She made a promise to him, and I know that she will definitely keep it. This case is really emotional for us, but it really needs to come to an end. Really, it's without a body. There's the police know the person who did this. There's two people, maybe even more. Know what's going on. Fess up and do what's right, and face the consequences. Even though I don't think it was actually intended, you need to face the consequences and stop playing like you won't talk unless you need a lawyer, or you won't give information to the state because of you want an immunity. That right there says guilt. So fess up. No, it's not intended murder, or whatever happened. Fess up. But hopefully we can locate Brian's body. I don't think I have anything other than that. Case. You guys?
No, I don't. You would have more than anybody, I believe, because you were there.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was there, and I mean, I spoke with Randy. We actually sat down and had a beer together. So it just don't, you meet somebody like that, and then all of a sudden he's dead. There were so many deaths in his family and so much stuff. He did not deserve that. I mean, I don't know, and that's why I think it's so important that the truth come out, and tell people what really happened. Kids do drugs, and things happen. Don't cover it up. Okay, case number 178. Jacob Wetterling. I think I pronounced that right. The case was Jennifer asked me to open this case on October 29th, 2006. I opened it on October 30th, the next day. Deborah, you have the stats on this case.
Yes, I do. It's for Jacob Erwin Wetterling.
How do you spell the middle name? I'm going to add that. Erwin?
Yes, Erwin.
Okay.
He's been missing since October 22nd, 1989 from St. Joseph, Minnesota. This is classified as an abduction. His date of birth is February 17th, 1978. He was 11 years old at the time, 5 feet tall, 75 pounds, Caucasian male, brown hair, blue eyes. His hair was very, very blonde when he was young. He has moles on his left cheek, near his nose, near his right eye, and on his neck. He has a scar on his left knee. His right wrist was previously fractured, and the injury was fully healed by the time he disappeared. He wears contact lenses for nearsightedness, and they're probably tinted blue. That's what he normally wore. His nickname is Jake. He was last seen wearing a red St. Cloud hockey jacket with a large St. Cloud Police Department emblem embroidered on the back, an orange reflective jogging vest, a red t-shirt, a blue mesh jersey, blue sweatpants, white socks, and white Nike high-top shoes with a gray stripe. Jacob and his brother and a friend rented a videotape from the Tom Thumb convenience store in St. Joseph, Minnesota, the evening of October 22nd, 1989. They rode their bicycles to the convenience store to get the movie, and they were on their way back to Jacob's home at the time. At about 9:15 p.m., they were about a quarter to a half mile away from Jacob's home when they were approached by an unidentified Caucasian man who was wearing a mask and dark-colored clothing. He was armed with a shotgun or a handgun. He ordered all three of the boys, Jacob, his brother, and the friend, to lie down in a nearby ditch. He asked Jacob's brother's age, then he told him to run away and not look back or he would get shot. He did the same thing for the friend, and after letting those two boys go, he grabbed Jacob and he walked towards a wooded area, and neither one of them have been seen since. We do have some sketches of the possible abductor here, which I'll give to you so you can post them.
Okay.
The boys described the man as being approximately 40 to 50 years old and 5 feet 8 inches tall with a husky build. He had broad shoulders and he spoke in a low, raspy voice. The FBI psychological profile for the abductor describes him as a Caucasian man, 25 to 35 years old at the time in 1989.
And this is FBI. Wait a second. This is FBI profiler, right? This is not. This is just
right,
a profile.
The psychological profile for the abductor, yes.
Okay.
Yes. So at the time in 1989, they said that he would be Caucasian, 25 to 35, holding a low-skilled job, and probably has poor self-esteem stemming from physical deformities such as scars or acne. There were two possible tips received in the early stages of the investigation. Witnesses reported seeing an unidentified man in his 50s glaring at customers inside that convenience store. He was in his 50s, about 6 feet tall, with a large build and receding white hair. 2 months after Jacob disappeared, an unidentified man molested a 12-year-old boy in Cold Spring, Minnesota, approximately 10 miles from where Jacob was taken from. The boy had just finished ice skating and was walking home alone when he was pulled into a car and molested. Afterwards, he was pushed out, and that man instructed him to run fast from the area or risk being shot. The description of that suspect matched the one that they initially had for the abductor, for Jacob, and also the manner of the crime as far as run or you'll be shot. These sketches that they have, though, of these two, the one that they have from when Jacob was abducted and then this man who molested a 12-year-old that they feel is the same person, neither one of those sketches produced any results whatsoever.
Okay.
They also reported seeing a car nearby when it happened, and that car was a huge focus of the investigation. But in February of 2004, 15 years after it happened, the car was finally identified and the owner was questioned and cleared of being involved. And now they believe that the abductor was actually on foot. There were rumors that Jacob's father, who was a chiropractor, was involved in the disappearance, and that never proved to be true in any way, shape, or form. The investigators believe that the speculation was created because of the father's religion, and he publicly disclosed it. He is Haleigh. Is that how you say it?
Baha'i?
B-A-H, yeah,
Okay.
B-A-H-A-I. A religion that believes all people are created as one race. Both of Jacob's
You
parents
don't need to be a
were
religion to believe in
eliminated.
that.
Right, exactly.
Okay. All right.
But that's not, a really accepted religion, and since a lot of people don't know a lot about it, it will most likely be looked down upon in a lot of ways.
Okay.
Both the parents were cleared of any suspicion, though. They're not suspects, they never were. They did think that possibly this happened because it was a hate crime against Jacob's father, and, that they were not able to produce anything with either. Jacob's father, however, does feel that Jacob was stalked prior to being abducted.
Okay.
In September 2004, authorities investigated a man in Warroad, Minnesota, that they thought could be Jacob Wetterling. The man's co-workers reported that he resembled the age-progressed photo. Do you have the age-progressed photo of Jacob?
No. A lot of times I don't like to post those, but yeah, send it to me.
Okay, I'll give you that also.
When I talk about, there's a lot of times with FBI profiling and stuff like that, and they'll put information out like you're looking for this person that does this, without any real hard evidence or going by what a psychologist or psychiatrist believes. A lot of times people just focus on that one thing. If that one thing's wrong, then that actually does more harm than good. That's why a lot of times I don't like posting, especially age-progressed photos that are like 30 years old. Which I guess maybe at 30 years later, you could look like anything. But sometimes the age-progressed photos aren't exactly what they need to be. And a lot of people that are abducted and stuff are just missing change hair color and stuff like that, and that's not reflected in there. And I'm not a big fan of the age progression pictures, but if the police think they're relevant and need to, I'll post them.
Well, the age progression photo actually created a problem here because this man in Warroad, Minnesota, his coworkers thought that he looked like that age progression photo, and he said he was not Jacob Wetterling, but he refused to allow a DNA test. Eventually, the investigators got his fingerprints from the state of Arizona, where he had been arrested for a traffic offense, and it proved that he was not Jacob Wetterling. Jacob's family still lives in the same home that they lived in 1989, and they have the same phone number. They've received several phone messages from people claiming that they were Jacob Wetterling, but they've all been hoaxes. There has been some things stated, and
who would
on to a lot of
who would make a hoax like that?
That
I mean, who would call up and say that's terrible. Go on, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is actually quite sad. I don't understand it myself, but as far as parallels, there's been a lot of things said about this possibly being similar to Johnny Gosch case and some of the other ones out there. And I believe you have them linked up too, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. No, I don't.
I think you have something stated on the case file about it, if I remember correctly.
Not on this one, I don't think. Might be linking from Johnny Gosch, but it's not in this case file. You know what I'm talking about?
I think Johnny's case is mentioned somewhere there, but
hold on,
on that case file, but the link would probably be good.
Can you send me just the link to that, and I'll put it in right now?
It is mentioned further down on the archive.
Okay. Where?
A link to.
Okay. Yeah, I see it's mentioned, but let's link it to, like Deborah's saying, let's link it to the.
I'm getting the link for you now for Johnny's case.
Okay.
I gave you one suspect.
Got it.
Sketch so far, and I'll give you the other one in a second. I'll get the link. Okay, the link for Johnny Gosch's case.
Okay, and I'm gonna got the image for that one. I also got Brian's information posted now too.
Okay, here's the link for Johnny's case, case number 315.
Okay. I'm going to put a little note that said possibly related to that case.
post a link for Johnny Gosh.
I'm waiting on the PC to save something again. Every time I should have done. Every time I try to save an image, it takes like a few minutes before it recognizes that I'm trying to save an image.
Well, I'm going to get the other 2 images now. The other suspect's sketch and the age progression photo.
Okay. While I'm waiting, I will be out searching this weekend with some help for Stephen Tamburo. He's a gentleman that went missing from Berkeley Springs, West Virginia, in December. I'll be out there searching. If anybody wants to help out, you know how to get a hold of me. We are looking for cadaver dogs. We have some dogs, but yeah, I mean, if you are a SAR team, you have some trained dogs, you really want to come out and help us, please do. Just give me a call. I'll be here, and I plan on going out Saturday morning. I've been out there. I have more images. I'm trying to find what I did with my camera. I have about 20 more pictures. As I find that, I'll post those. I know I was supposed to. But we will be all in the local area. Still waiting. And let's see what else. Chat room. Really, guys, the only rules in the chat rooms, of course, is, you know, common sense stuff, like please respect others and keep it, you know, not adult. That's fine. Everybody knows the issues that I have with the Body Hunter LLC. That said, please don't go into the chat rooms and promote them. Okay, I realize. I mean, this is a free country. You guys can do what you want, but if I have an issue with the company and then going in and promoting them, not really the best thing to do. Please do that elsewhere. If you'd like to talk about gossip or anything that you want, you're more than welcome to, but please make a room for it. The chat room's about anything that you want. That's why we have open rooms, but the general main lounge is for missing persons. That's what the main lounge is for. Any other rooms that you wish to create, that's fine. But and also if a moderator tells you something, please, you know, say, hey, okay, well, that makes sense. It's real common sense stuff. Plus of all, I think we're all adults, so that said, I mean, I don't think I should have to say anything more. This is not criticizing anybody. I won't call anybody out by name or anything like that. It's just let's please respect others and respect my intentions of not wanting to be a part of the Body Hunter LLC. And that said, you know, just don't promote them. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but that's all I'm saying. You can open up a Body Hunter LLC chat room if you wish, right there, and promote them all you want. Okay, it's saved. So I got that image right there. Hold on, let me get the link. I'm just going to write possible related. It's probably already linked from Johnny Gosh's case, isn't it, Deborah?
Yes, I believe it is.
Okay. So
it's just not linked from Jacob's case.
Okay. Okay, now it is. Okay, so with Jacob, let me start off the case opened October 30th, 2006. I don't see a date on it. Yes, October 31st, 2006. It's Halloween, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay. This is back. I know this one I was noticing in the next case. I did not translate. I guess I assumed everybody could read my writing, which is not true. But what it says Jacob was taken by a man named John. He has long brown hair, parted in the middle, brown eyes, a bump on his nose, and a broken tooth. He's wearing a black Aerosmith T-shirt when he took Jacob. John was 26 years old at the time, and I believe that he is still alive, living in Mexico. This is the person that took him now, not Jacob. Also says that it was not a murder, but a major operation, child trafficking operation, John took a total of 11 boys. Okay, so it's misworded, but basically, I think a man named John, with these descriptions and the image that's drawn above, along there's additional details up there. There's actually a lot of stuff that's up there. It's not there, but you can that's pretty clear to read. But it's saying this was a child trafficking organization, and may have taken up to 11 children, specifically boys. The second dream drawing says John did not know Jacob, nor did he know the other 10 kids he took. He may have been driving a blue 1985 Ford pickup, a brown camper shell. X-ray Alpha 13 might be a license plate number. I wrote the word apples for some reason, and I don't know what that means. Don was looking for children from 8 to 10 years of age. Was paid $5,000 for each child he took. At the time, this was a $20 million a year business. I think it was funded by a rich businessman in cocaine. Also wrote small toy boat. The small toy boat, because I don't see where I wrote that.
Oh, that part I did not find.
It says not gay, $20 million guilt, boys. Oh, there it is. It's circled top right. Small toy boat. Okay. I think that I think this is where Jacob lives, a small house in Mexico. I also think that 7 of the kids were taken here by John and also living in Mexico. For some reason, they don't want to be found. So, good thing on this one, I guess no feeling of death. It was an abduction, and I'm not exactly sure where John would be, or where Jacob would be at this time. And I'm looking down here. I guess how it's related to the Johnny Gosch case. And Johnny Gosch, wasn't there some photos or something that came up with Johnny Gosch recently that turned out to be incorrect?
Well, some have said they're incorrect, and some people have said that they are actually real. There's really a lot of controversy on that case, but yes, there were photos, and they were left on his mother's doorstep, and the photos were not very nice. He was bound, gagged, but I don't know that anyone can really be sure. It's been said that they're fake, and it's been said that they're real. There's really a lot of different things that go on with that case. There's been a lot in the media regarding pedophile rings,
right,
and other things for that case. And in fact, I've actually hesitated posting quite a bit of the stuff because it's really hard, for some people to watch and listen to.
Yeah.
But I thought a lot about it, and I'm going to post it anyway.
If go ahead and do it.
Offensive, then they shouldn't watch it.
I've been
I'll mark what it is.
Okay, yeah. I've dealt with some of this before with international rings. A lot of times, especially with young girls, they're able to find these children being peddled on adult pornographic sites. Well, not adult, basically child porn sites. Most of them being based in Russia. And I'd never, when I started dealing with some detectives and this kind of stuff, this is some really, really sick stuff. And a lot of these people masquerade as legitimate sites offering child modeling, and you see pictures of child models up there in very provocative situations. It's completely disgusting and sick. But that said, there are people that actually, the law enforcement, that actually monitor these sites and actually look at these pictures of these children and see, wait a second, that looks an awful lot like this other person. And I've dealt with this stuff personally in a few cases, and we've actually contacted the modeling agencies, and they themselves said, wow, we didn't even know about this. And apparently it turned out that wasn't the child, but it was, it was a dead-on picture, I think. And I don't have the software that the FBI uses to match up pictures and the facial recognition and stuff like that. But anytime, usually a child, especially a female, is taken at that age, they do put them on the internet, and they sell this. There are sick freaks out there that pay for this kind of stuff, and that it's I hate it for the job, but there are people out there that actually look at these images and compare them. The children have been found this way, especially with today's the internet, how the internet's spreading. Um, there are organizations, police organizations, that are just dedicated now to cyber crimes in trying to find children this way, because they are taken and put on the internet as long as they can get away with it. And I never knew that Russia, child pornography is legal. And I guess when Russia fell, I mean, almost anything there is legal, and these people know that. Um, Speaking of Russia, that's why it goes back to Madeline McCann. I think there's no doubt why the associates of Robert Marek, his associate's computer expert, was Russian. That's a different case. I'll get to that, whatever. But if you see pictures, it's somebody you think might look similar, like even on MySpace or something like that. Report that stuff to the police. It's like, hey, well, this looks like this person. Take the time and report it to the police. They do listen. There is a cyber crimes division, and they do look into this. There's Interpol actually has a bunch of people that just do this kind of stuff, because it's absolutely disgusting, and I can't believe that this is actually legal in some countries. I mean, legal. Okay. I got off track. I've got the picture of that up there. Is there anything else that I'm missing on here? I linked to the other case.
I gave you images for 2 sketches.
Okay.
And I also gave you his age progressed.
Okay.
And the link to Johnny's case, and then I gave you a link for the Jacob Wetterling Resource Center.
Okay. Yep, got them both. Now, sometimes in other cases, he's an adult now. A lot of times, that if you're grown up, you're brainwashed at this point, and you don't know anything about who's looking for you, who cares about you, or whatever. You can sometimes they tell the kids, your parents didn't want you. We rescued you, we sold you, or whatever. And I just hope that if anybody ever sees anything about them, your family or whatever, people do care about you. And I think that's why it's so many children when children are taken in, they go missing throughout adulthood and they were abducted, that they do, a lot of them do not want to come home for what they've been told and brainwashed. It just happens. Look at Sean Hornbeck. He was out looking. Sean Hornbeck was out with his abductor looking for another child. Okay, in my book, that's illegal, for both of them. But that just shows you what somebody can do, and that was only 4 years. Okay, I've got those 2 links. Those are posted up there: Age Progression link and the Resource Center, which actually is www.jwrc.org, which is the Jacob Wetterling Resource Center. Okay, anything else on that case?
No, I don't think so. His family has, like I said, remained in the same home with the same phone number. They've also been active in trying to advocate for child safety and finding missing persons and keeping things alive for this case. Unfortunately, not all cases go like that.
Yeah.
But,
that means the parents had nothing to do with the disappearance. I've done a lot of cases. You can tell as time goes by what happened. The parents did nothing to do with this. And I'm sorry, Deborah. I didn't mean to cut you off like that.
No, I was pretty much done anyway, because you can tell. When the cases are older and the parents are still actively keeping them alive, there are a few cases that you have of people, children that went missing in the 80s, and the families are doing amazing things.
Mm-hmm. For an example, Glendine, we talk to all the time, Jesse Foster's mother. They don't give up, guys. And this is what you and I would do if our child went missing. And in some cases, you see that there's no media reports. There's nothing after all this time. There's nothing's going on. There's not even a website dedicated to help them find that person. And a lot of times, I think that's just a little bit suspicious. Not all the time, but you can tell. For an example, I saw this a while back. Nancy Grace had a guest on. I think his daughter was murdered. You know who I'm talking about? He's the founder of this child search organization. Do you know who I'm talking about? I forget.
Is that Mark Klaus?
Yeah, I think
That would be
so.
Mark S. for Polyclass Foundation.
This guy needs to be in charge of anything doing with missing people. What comes out of his mouth should be, really listened to. Listen, tell you guys, listen to this guy. He's no bull. He sees through all this stuff, and everything I've seen from this guy is just amazing. And I'm saying, put this guy in charge of whatever. I'm saying that's the way to be, and he can see right through, all this other stuff that we've seen out there. That's the guy, though. I mean, I think I even wrote a little thing about him. But that's how I wish everybody
You
would
did
be.
actually, yeah, you posted that on the Kaylee Anthony file
Yeah.
after he had been on Nancy Grace, but people should actually check out his database because he has a wonderful one for the
What's
Polyclass Foundation,
okay? What's
and
the
he features. I'm looking for it.
okay?
I think it's Polyclass. It's Class Foundation or polyclassfoundation.org. I'm going to find that right now. But you can print missing posters from there. You get the profile there. A lot of the same things that are on missingkids.com.
Yep.
But he does a really wonderful job.
Okay.
And one of the first things he says is take a polygraph. Demand a polygraph for yourself.
Yes.
So they can eliminate you and move on to finding the abductor.
Yes. There's no reason, I don't care what his lawyer says, not to take a polygraph. There's no reason. Even if it's inconclusive or whatever. Oh, come on, you know what happened, okay? If you, like I said, if your child went missing, you'd do anything, I mean, to get him back. So anytime that doesn't happen, I would always treat it suspiciously. The website is www.polyclass.org, polyclass.org. Please go there and support that guy. I think that they do have searches. They do a lot of stuff. I believe you can donate there too, and everything else. But my hat's off to him. Okay, we ready for the next case?
I'm ready for the next one if you are.
Okay. I'm not ready for this one. Case 188, Jill Cutshall. The case was requested by Angie on November 8th, 2006. And she also requested another case I think I opened for her. I got it done on the 10th, November 10th, 2006, and Deborah has the stats on this. I need to translate what I have up here. So while Deborah's reading that, I'm going to go ahead and try to do that.
Okay, this is for Jillian D. Cutshall. She's been missing since August 13th, 1987 from Norfolk, Nebraska. It is a non-family abduction. Her date of birth is February 19th, 1978. She was 9 years old when she went missing. She would be 31 years old right now. Height at the time she went missing was 4 feet 6 inches tall, 65 pounds. She's a Caucasian female, blonde hair, blue eyes. She had crooked teeth when she went missing, a 2-inch vertical scar on the crown of her head, and a horizontal scar on her right upper lip. Her nickname is Jill. She was wearing a purple shirt, jeans, and white Nike sneakers. She was last seen at about 6:30 a.m. on August 13th, 1987 in Norfolk. She was walking to her babysitter's home at the time, which was approximately 4 blocks from her own home. She never arrived at the babysitter's and has not been seen again. 3 months after she disappeared, her clothes were found in a wooded area in Stanton, Nebraska, 10 miles from her home. David Phelps was convicted of kidnapping with the intent to commit sexual assault on Jill, and he's currently serving life in prison. Since she has never been located, they have not charged him, for murdering her. After he was convicted, though, she was declared legally dead.
Anything else?
So within 3 months, they found her clothing, but they did not find her.
Okay. I just finished the first one. I'm not exactly sure. It says at time of MCR. I don't know. I put a question mark there. 32-year-old white male, concrete block, still at Lark. You see what I'm looking at? It doesn't say Park. It's LARO maybe.
You know, your writing is much more legible nowadays than it was a few years ago.
It's got to have more light. Actually, I have a night light over here. Near whatever concrete block was near. At time of whatever, 32 white man concrete block still at Laura O, living in Florida near mall in water. Okay, so it looks to me like she is deceased. Probably weighted down with a concrete block so far. Made ever. Okay, here's what the translation says. Sadly, I think that Jill was murdered and her body was taken to a lake very close to where she disappeared. The man that did it is drawn above, which is completely. I guess you could use that somehow. Is drawn above. This is how he looked when he took Jill. I believe the man is still alive today. Oh, that's okay. That might be alive up top then. And lives with his wife and children. His wife is drawn above, and how she looks today. I do not think she knows about the murder, but suspects something. I don't know if you're that person's wife listening. If you suspect something, maybe that's it. I don't know how this is going to help. Do you, Deborah?
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure.
You can say, well, I'll redo it.
Yeah, well, I already wrote it down.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
You know, guys, I still haven't posted the dreams. I had one more. This is last night's dream. Means nothing. I have about maybe 15 or 20 dreams I will post here. Nothing I think is really significant. That I think anytime if I think something's related to a missing person, I will post it. I haven't seen anything. I mean, I post everything, but I can wait till tomorrow, which I probably will do. But I am fine. Some people are beginning to think something's wrong. There's nothing wrong. And for the people asking that question, probably aren't seeing this, so they won't know anyways. Okay, I'm reading on her, going down here, date of birth. This is the stats here. I don't know why it's all messed up like that, but
Well,
I'm not sure.
That's a copy paste of the PDF from the Stanton County Sheriff's Department, which I was going to give you information for, but you already have it there.
Well, send it. Did you? Right? Can you send it to me again, though?
Yes, I will.
Because this formatting is all to the left. I just want to get rid of it and put something else up there. I can just get rid of this whole thing because it's just the stats on the case. But okay, so if there's a place called Lauro, Florida, there's maybe a lake or somebody knows something about this. That lake might want to be searched. There's some information here that I haven't. I'll just read to you right now. I'm going to retype 8/13/1987. Let me get that in right now. Clear glass. Body is still in water. Ann's wife was murdered. Okay. It says look in woods next to the lake. It's pretty vague, but if there is a Lauro or something like that, then that might be of some help. Okay, and I got those links.
Copy paste of all the text for the PDF and the link to the PDF.
Okay. 4 of them, right? Right?
3 or 4.
Yeah.
Either 3 or 4.
I got them.
Let me check. Three blocks of text and a link.
Okay. Yeah, I have that.
How do you spell that lake? L-A-R-O?
You know, I don't know. That's what
It
it
looks
looks.
like L-A-R-O.
Yeah, L-A-R, or still at L, or it could be a K, Lark, L-A-R-K. You see, I see like it could be a K, but it says L-A-R-O.
Right. Kinsley's asking. I'm assuming she's trying to locate it on a map.
Okay, cool.
Yes, she is looking for it on a map.
Okay, I translated what I could on that one. It looks to me like she was murdered and her body was weighted down somehow in a lake. Apparently pretty good if the body hasn't surfaced. Um, and this time I don't know what. I mean, I hope she's not. But that's what this says. I don't see the trademark death thing, but I'm not exactly sure if I had started doing that or actually knew what I was doing then. I still don't know what I'm doing, but. Okay, one question I wanted to answer. A lot of people ask, you know, how do you do this or what are you doing? Are you psychic? No, I'm not psychic. What I do every night, Deborah sends me. This is what we have been doing. I'm doing it somewhat in an unprofessional way, I guess. But what she does is she sends me an email. This example was for last night's email. I actually take this image here. I'd like to have a picture and a name. I'm going to take that, easily circle it. I fold it just like it says in all the other dream drawings to fold 2 ways, 1 way, 2 way. I actually take this and put it under my pillow, and I sleep on it. I actually sleep on it, and then I'll wake up through the night or whatever. And I'll take notes, and I'll actually wake up and draw something, or draw whatever. And that's what I get. I'm not psychic, and so far I've not been able to do what I've seen other psychics do. I can't do it. I have to be, either asleep or in a lucid state, which I call remote viewing. To me, remote viewing and dreams, to me, are all basically the same thing. I know that they're done in lucid state, which, I've just explained what lucid state dreaming is, and it's really not too hard when you wake up. For me, when I wake up, I just kind of stay in it and try to get some other stuff done. But I basically just draw exactly what I see in my dreams, and that's all you guys get. I mean, in everything that I put on my website, I do nothing other than that. I mean, I can look at these pictures and stuff, and most of the time, 99% of the time, I will not even remember that dream, which is good because I like to clear my mind. So whatever you guys think, so the point I'm trying to get to is, if you see something on here that, like, hey, that might mean this or whatever, look into it, please, because all I am is translating this stuff. I guess like you consider I'm an antenna, receiving this stuff either through universal consciousness or whatever, whatever there is. I know I have an open mind. That's what I'm getting. And for me, putting stuff under my pillow, no matter what it is, seems to work. And I do it with a lot of different things. And I try to do 1 or 2 a night. Deborah does send me one. When I say now, like, I'll do something, she'll make sure it happens. And I'll get it done. A lot of stuff going on lately. I got a little bit behind, but trust me, she will make me catch up. That's how I do it. And here's one other thing. I'm not special, guys, at all, okay? And I don't need recognition for anything that I do or whatever. I just want to help. You guys could do the same thing. Try it. Please try it. The hardest part for me was to actually record down or make myself write my dreams down. It's something you just have to keep practicing. And I know it's the last thing you want to do, especially if you're in a good dream or you're sleeping or whatever. It's so hard to make yourself either wake up a little bit, and I try not to move too much because that gets me out of the dream. To wake up, record something, use a voice recorder. I have done both. I've done a lot of different things. Try to record your own dreams and do the pillow thing. The most important thing though is before you go to sleep, make sure the TV's off. Don't be drunk. Okay? Don't take sleeping pills. Try not to. I've been known to take a few Tylenol PMs once in a while. You need to clear your mind. Okay, this is the biggest step. When I say meditate, I mean meditate. Meditate to me does not mean to think about anything. And you can sit here like the Buddha is doing right now. Okay. Meditate to me means no thought at all. There's no thought. And I know it's people are like, how do you not think? Think of it as like the back of your head. There's an off switch. Okay. Turn your brain off. Try not to think about anything. And it's kind of hard to explain unless you know what I'm talking about. But it takes practice. If you maybe you can just sit still for a couple minutes a day, and then maybe add another minute or two, and just don't think about what's going on, because most of your dreams that you have at night are from what's happened to you right before you went to bed or what you were thinking about it. I realize that some of my dreams are, and a lot of times I won't post those. But other dreams come from wherever. Like I think it's you can call it whatever you want. I think everything and everybody's connected somehow. The universal consciousness, or whatever you want to call it. I try to think I'm like an antenna picking up whatever's going on, energy or whatever you want to call it. Everything is energy. But I think the biggest thing, for me at least, was make sure that your mind is clear, because you'll be just dreaming about normal stuff, which is important too. But that's what I do. And nothing like Kevin Doyle, keep an open mind about everything. You know, don't be so open so your brain falls out or whatever. But keep an open mind, because anything is possible. I mean, anything. Look at quantum physics. Look at how something can exist in two places at the same time, and that time is not even a constant. What I'm saying is that there's so many things out there we don't understand, and we probably never will, or probably never, we're not supposed to. So keep an open mind, and that's all I got to say. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Butterfly.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else that we missed?
We do have one question from the chat room.
Okay.
Tusi is asking, how do you tell which is which regarding the dreams? I guess, you know,
I do know.
Ones are...
If you that's actually, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll even make a note that, you know, hey, this could be related to this one. Sometimes they're dreams. But if you'll notice, like here, up in the top right-hand corner, this is what I'll write. I'll actually write the name of the person, okay? And that's why I don't do too many at night. And I just, most of the time I just know. That's how I do it. I say, well, this is the person I did it for, so this in hand would be it. And most of the time it's been pretty accurate, guys. I mean, really pretty accurate. And what I'm saying is, and I get this with Gail a lot of times. A lot of times me and Gail were working some cases, and like, Gail, you got that dead on. And like, and I was shocked at first that somebody can do that. And I think over time you just get used to it, I guess. But a lot of times when I'm doing this stuff, I know nothing about that case for good reason. Like with this case here, I was really curious last night, and I said, I'm going to Google this because I wanted to see. But then I thought, if you know too much about a case, except if you're doing something with remote viewing or with dreams or psychic ability or whatever, you don't want to cloud your mind with reports that are coming out, because that's going to affect. Guarantee it, it's going to affect. That's happened to me in the Madeline case. A lot of times I learned my lesson is to not listen to whatever the reporting. A lot of times it's wrong, or just media hype, or or bombshell, whatever you want to call it. I lost my train of thought. It's just important. Okay. Is there anything else? But that's how I do it. I usually write down, or I just know. But most of the time you'll see, and usually I'll write the name down or something like that, or a picture. Even with the pictures, I try actually when I sleep. I have this under here, but sometimes I'll even pull it out and I actually wrote Like you see in this one's 20. A lot of times I'll do that. It's 27. Just some of the things that whatever. But and another thing, guys, is it's people asking, aren't you exhausted and stuff from doing all this? No, not one bit. This is the easiest job in the world as far as having dreams and stuff like that, because that's all they are. I'm sleeping. The hard part is the admin part. Is the learning to run a website, learning HTML, learning JavaScript, learning how the server works, learning all this other stuff, and then making a website. Because I do everything. Well, I used to do most technical stuff. I still do myself, but I do everything myself. And then answering emails, which I love to do, but that's the most time-consuming part. Like I said, if I could just have a dream and fax it to Deborah, and then everything would be cool. But I love talking with everybody, and this Ustream's a little bit different. I'm not really used to talking to people on this thing right here. But the main thing, the missing person cases do take priority, and I do take priority over the dreams. I have dreams, I'll post them, but the missing thing, that's why you'll see there's no dreams posted for the last couple of weeks. I was also a little bit sick, so was everybody else. But thank you guys. Once again, if anybody has any problems or wants to request a case be added, you should already know how to do that. Links on every single page that there is, as far as the missing person sections. If you have any problems with chat, or you want to want to speak to a moderator or whatever in the chat room, the Butterfly, Deborah are always willing to help. There's also an email link on there if you don't know how to register. If you have problems registering, that's on there too. I think I got everything else. Please, like I said, please be kind, respect others. Don't link to something that that I'm having issues with. Other than that, there's no limit. You can link to anything you want as long as it's not pornography. Common sense stuff. We're all adults. Hopefully, we're all adults, and we all know how to treat one another in however we met, whatever circumstances there are. I think we all are trying to do the right thing. Okay, that was about an hour and a half of stuff here, but we did get 3 cases done. Real quick, the Amber Alert. Let's hope that Haleigh Ann Marie is found. Haleigh Ann Marie Cummings was found. Eerily similar as far as the name goes to Kaylee Anthony. Even the same state. I don't know what's up with that. I don't see. Never mind. That's it. Thank you guys for listening and watching, and thank you guys too for helping me do whatever it is I'm doing here. Okay. This, like every other case, is recorded. There's a little link up there where it says archives. Click there, and anything I do or say, no matter how ridiculous or stupid or whatever, will be up there. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah, my picture. Okay, so far is right now she's still missing. All right, good night, guys.